Hello there people, welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. So I've been watching a lot of people in so many years, coaches and healers and readers and guides who are talking about the twin flame journey. And honestly, a lot of them have made it difficult for people to actually get into an actual union, because they've made it to be such a huge thing. They've made it sound like such a difficult thing, such a big deal, so idealistic, so perfect, so heavenly, that you see, most of them, 90%, I would say 95% of them, have not experienced union and they've not manifested it in 5D or in 3D. But they're going to tell you about it as if they know everything about it. And I think in 2026, one of the things that you need to have discretion for or discernment for is to not go for people who make it a huge deal. I'm sure some of you would say, have you done it, Sunamoon? I would say, I think so, but I don't talk about my personal journey on these videos. This is for collective readings and downloads and information like this, honest information like this. If you want to know more about my twin flame union journey, then you can discuss that with me in therapy sessions. And therapy session is not about me, guys, it's about you. But yeah, you can get motivated, because you can actually get a step-by-step breakdown of how it really happens in 3D as well as in 5D. But anybody who tells you that it is the perfect relationship that you're here to manifest, they're bullshitting with you. They are nowhere close to it, and they'll not be for the next few decades. But they'll keep telling you like they're professionals, because twin flame journey is not actually about, it's not about following the trend. It's about going against the trend, and it's about accepting your destiny the way it is and not looking for perfection is not going to lead you to that space or that place. In fact, you need the imperfections, you need the fodder, you need the suffering, you need the misery. You need all of it to understand the venom isn't holding on. And a lot of people are holding on to the idea of twin flame as well, to the idea of this is some kind of a heavenly relationship. Well, we are all living on planet Earth, so it has to be also a 3D experience. But it's not going to be idealistic. It's going to be difficult. At first, it is difficult, especially with the catalyst and with the false twin flames. It looks like, oh my God, it's a very nice spiritual relationship. But your divine counterpart can never be that spiritual. Why should they be? Why should they be so spiritual like you? Why should they be all about the inner work like you? Why do they have to be just like you? And if they are like you, it's not going to be fun. Your life is going to be very boring. You'll not have anything to work on. You'll not have anything to look forward to. You need to have an individual life of your own. You need to have your own thing going on. And at the same time, you have to give that person love as well. It's not just about you getting love from other people. It's about you giving love to people and you accepting people as who they are. And it is a sexual relationship. It is going to be a relationship where you're actually taking care of a family, you're setting up a family, or you have family goals. And you can do it late. That's not a problem. One thing which is common about twin flames is that they're here to do it the other way around. So they first are very much interested in 5D stuff or spiritual stuff. Actually, in the very beginning, they come from families, from places where there is a certain amount of lack. There are lots of limitations, and they feel this, they don't want certain things, or they're taught certain things in a very aggressive way, in a very challenging environment they're born in. And that's why they turn to finding out the answers way too early. And that's the time they don't want to settle down with anyone. Maybe they have relationships, maybe they date people. I'm not saying that they don't. But there's also this Eastern influence on us. There's also kind of, emotion where you have to keep it low. You cannot be yourself, and you're not going to be appreciated for being yourself or being who you really are. So first, they want to know who they really are and the spiritual side of things. But then that is not for abstinence or renouncement. That is for actually acceptance of the 3D world. If you're going to hate the 3D world, if you're going to hate the 3D union or marriage or relationship, and you're looking for something so picture perfect, so movie like, so dreamy, then it's never going to work out. You have to accept the darkness. You have to accept the hard, dense reality. And more than being a teacher, it's about being a student. So your divine counterpart can actually teach you a lot, and that is what you're here to figure out, that yes, they can also teach you. 3D world, the narcissist, they can teach you a lot. So instead of constantly being bitter with them, constantly hating on them, and it starts from family actually, because usually it is seen, and especially if you have reached your late 30s or 40s, or even mid 30s, I would say mid 30s, for some people early 30s also, then you would notice that all the people in the 3D reality around you do end up becoming much more successful than you, because they simply follow the path for the 3D success. And 3D success means they have a job, they have a career, they have bank balance, they have money, they can run the household, which a lot of people on the spiritual path cannot. They struggle with it. And it's not that they don't have the skills set to do it. They do. They probably did it when they were much younger. They were much more independent. They could make money. So they get bored of it. But later on they realize that now they're not being accepted. If you look at all the families, if you look at all the relationships, if you look at all the couples, every single couple, every single family, it's all here because of God. So twin flames are not any special or different, that they're going to be a match made in heaven. Every couple is like that, But why twin flames get into this whole superiority complex that becomes their cage actually is because they are looking for something perfect, something special. And there are a lot of people who are teaching you that bullshit, that it has to be perfect and special, and you are this high vibrational soul. I mean, you can't be a high vibrational soul if you're not grounded and rooted in the 3D as well. As much as people want to be high up there somewhere, the real high is to be low as well. Accept those places. Like the lotus accepts that it's actually taking nourishment and nutrition from the mud, and it has this really long root which is also converted into a kind of vegetable and very medicinal plant. So it is connected, it is attached with that root which goes underwater, and from there it gets the nourishment, but on top it is totally detached and unaffected. But then where is it getting its potency from? Lotus is very well aware about it. So in order to be that detached, you need to also be very strong in the root, whether you're the lotus flower or you're a big banyan tree. And there's also this very big misconception that your divine counterpart who is doing the matrix inner work is not that advanced, but you are, and they don't know much. Like, they know a lot, and that's why you get impressed by them. That's why you dig into their confidence, because they can impress you if you think you're intelligent, you're intellectual. And matrix inner work is as powerful as any other inner work, because those people who do really well in the matrix, they've got to learn some tricks, they've got to understand some cheat codes as well. uh, it's like you can't deny the matrix as well. I mean, what they're trying to show in the movie Matrix, which I really like the movie, but I think people have started using it as a reference point, and they want to say that you have to leave the matrix, you have to go away or go out from the matrix in order to become this enlightened being. That's not true. That's the bullshit part. It's equally important to be a champion in the matrix, in the 3D, and then also in the 5D, and be somewhere in the middle. I mean, look at all the great masters. They don't talk about abstinence, or they don't talk about looking down upon the matrix, or looking down upon the 3D, or looking down upon anything. I mean, my master has said this, that a person who cannot get it in the lok, this is the lok, cannot get it even in the parlok, which is 5D. So what you have here, if you can figure stuff out here, then only you can figure the higher stuff out. So how you learn is, you learn some stuff in the 3D, you become street smart, you know how to make money, you develop some skill set, then you become independent emotionally, mentally, and you say, okay, I'm going to do my inner work and I'm going to figure things out. And if you genuinely do that, after a while you will get bored of it, because you're not born for abstinence, you're not born to renounce stuff. You will then realize that, oh, maybe other siblings of mine or other people, my cousins, or those who have gone up in the ladder. And I think one more thing that I've seen common is that some of the coaches, they have aged pretty much, when they start talking about, and I've seen people who are like pretty much in their 60s, or I mean, they've seen the world, they've seen life, but they have not yet figured it out. I'm sorry to say this, some people might not like it, but I'm also not sorry, because the truth is, you cannot give advice to people when you yourself don't know how to do it, right? You cannot learn swimming from a person who doesn't know how to swim. You cannot learn writing from a person who has not written a word. I mean, they can give you some other advice which can be really helpful, which can be like, okay, sometimes you need to hear good stuff, and it can just magically help you. But then you talk about, like, people talk about all these idealistic things like serve humanity, take care of this, that, do this, that, be mission oriented. But what's the mission really? Like, what is the mission? What is the purpose of life? How do you really serve humanity? And you don't understand that unless you actually dive deep into these things. And you need a combination. So you're on the path of Shiva and Shakti. So did Shiva not have a family? Did Shiva not have a wife or kids? He did. It's just that he did it a bit differently, and he did it a bit late, and he did it a bit honestly. But he also did in his own way. So he's very detached, but he's also a family man. He's not a typical family man, but yes, he is a family man. And he also had to figure things out, because Parvati, which is also Shakti, she became very independent without him. And I don't think that Shiva liked it, because that's why he would keep coming back to her. Eventually, after Ganesha, he just continued to be around, because maybe he felt that, if I'm going to leave this way, she's literally going to forget me. And it can be vice versa also. So the only issue is with people who are saying that you're a warrior of God, or you are a high vibrational soul, and that you're here to serve humanity. They're not really telling you how you do that. How do you serve humanity? How do you live as a hybrid soul? I mean, these words need to be understood really well. They need to be practically figured out first. It's very easy to give sermons, it's very easy to say stuff, but it's tough to walk the talk, because every time a genuine person, a genuine teacher or a healer is going to do that, God is going to put them into places and situations which is going to humble them down. Really, I mean it when I say it. Like the moment you're going to teach somebody you should do this and you should do that, you're going to go through that immediately. So you can't do that, because at one point you'll be like, I don't want to talk about it anymore, because you'll be scared. And you always come across people who are in the twin flame journey. Initially, they really like it. 1 year passes by, 2 year passes by, 3, 4 years. And then they're like, I hate this concept. I hate to be a twin flame. I hate this journey. They're full of criticism, because all of that dreamy, all of that heavenly vibe is gone. All of the spiritual, all the rosy stuff that they've heard about spirituality, how to get enlightened under a tree or just taking a walk. I mean, people are like, I want all the good stuff, but I don't want the shadow work. It doesn't work like that. And that's why I'm saying that a lot of people are just preaching you and they've not done their shadow work. I can just tell by listening to them for like 5 minutes that they've not done, still not reached there. You know why? Because they're still stuck in this idealistic chatter. They make it sound like I don't know what, but it's literally a normal relationship, a normal, healthy relationship that you have with your partner, where your partner takes care of you, where you take care of them, where you fight with each other, where you're possessive also, where there's jealousy also. Then you work through those flaws of yours, and you don't want to let that person go, not because you're very attached to that person, but because you realize that even if you let that person go, the next person that you're going to attract in your life is going to be literally the same, because you're not changing yourself. You're just not you, I mean everybody. And especially if you're in those really idealistic thoughts about this kind of journey, like it has to be perfect, it has to be this way or that way, then my goodness, the kind of people you're going to attract, it will show you stars in daylight. So some people are going to experiment and some people are eventually going to realize. And that's why the hermit mode, the surrender mode is so important. So people who actually figure it out, they know that they have to, it's not like they have a choice. It happens naturally. It happens naturally. Everything happens naturally on this journey. And this is what needs to be taught, that accept every phase and stage of this journey. Accept it, like truly accept it. Don't give any rosy picture to people, and don't also take away the fun of being with someone. Like, why shouldn't you enjoy being in a relationship? Why shouldn't you enjoy the basic things like cooking with someone, cleaning the house, living under the same roof, having children, having family? Why should that be taken away from anyone? If that's what their destiny is all about, why not? And during that, while doing that, you're going to face challenges. And you know what? Every normal couple goes through it. Even a normal, like you'd call them normal, a 3D couple, you'll see, who has lived together for 20, 30 years, you know, they will talk about challenges. Look at people who have long relationships. Look at the people in our own reality. The ones we call 3D people, look at their relationships. They have long-term relationships. They have many experiences with stability. They can give you so much good advice because they've done it. So do not underestimate the 3D people or the 3D relationships or the 3D stuff. They can really teach you, because if they can do it, think about it. If they can do it, why can't you? I mean, a lot of people in this journey are struggling with finances. They're struggling with money. They're struggling with basic stuff. A lot of them, especially people who are in the runner chaser dynamic, I've noticed it a lot. They're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to get it done, I don't know how to make money, I don't know how to pay for this, I don't know how to pay for that. I'm not saying everybody has to be perfect. Yes, we all go through bad days, we all go through financial challenges, but to be in a place where you're not able to do it at all, and then trying to think that what did I do wrong, and then also trying to manifest a relationship, a smooth relationship at the same time, it's not possible because your mind is too distracted. So you need to do all the 3D things now. Like if you're confused about it, focus on getting that car, focus on getting that much money. It's okay to be in therapy, it's okay to, because you can pay for therapy, you have that privilege. That means your root chakra is strong, you have done that, you've done that level of work, on yourself. You're not dependent on anyone, you're not sitting at home just rolling joints or just going for spiritual community meetings or something only. That can be a part of your life. I mean, after a certain point, you don't need that. You need to be really good in the same matrix that you think that is not good for you. Like it's a bad place to be in. No, it's not. When you become a champion in your finances, in your businesses, in your public dealings, and when you actually solve your relationships with the so-called narcissistic people, when you forgive your parents, most importantly, when you have harmony in your house, like in your most basic relationships where you don't have it, when you are cordial with each other, I'm not even saying become like super, become like how they say become heavenly and all of that. No, if you're cordial and they respect you and you respect them, and you are there at the holidays with each other, you're able to tolerate each other. I'm not saying that you're supposed to forcefully do that, but if you're able to do all those basic normal things with people around you in the 3D reality, then that means you are actually doing some work, because inner work is all about bringing in harmony, and then you can bring this harmony in your romantic relationship also. I mean, I read it somewhere that to be a romantic person and to be extremely intelligent is a tragedy. Actually, let me read it out for you. This quote is: a tragedy is when a mature mind and a romantic heart are in the same body. And this is written by a Syrian poet, Nizar Kabani. I really love this because it's a conflict between logic and passion that a lot of people feel they go through it, and they're trying to rationalize the emotional desire. So you have to be a bit immature. You cannot be mentally that intelligent, that logical, that practical, and also be romantic with someone within your relationship. You have to be a bit foolish, you have to be a bit like cute and childlike. You know why the narcissistic people that you don't like, they're so good with their romantic relationships? Or you'll always notice they have someone around them to love them, always, maximum times. And a lot of people who have this whole false twin relationship, they've told me that the person they were with, that person moved on and found someone better in no time. I mean, it didn't even take them a year to find another person. And maybe they regret it later is a different thing, because see, when you do your inner work and when you become like super cool mentally and emotionally, then yeah, they will see that, oh, they missed out on a really good person. Because I'm not saying they're perfect, they are not perfect, that's the whole point, they're not perfect either. But you see how fast they find someone, because they are easily able to get into that romantic mode. They're able to say nice lines to someone, they're able to flirt, they're able to move on. I'm not saying you become fake like them, you become mean like them, you become whatever labels you have for them. I'm not saying that. You don't have to put yourself in a negative space where you don't enjoy being in. But yes, you can actually look at this point. It's an important point. I mean, I can give you an example. It's an interesting example. So this friend of mine was basically dating someone for a really, really long time. And she gave, according to her, she gave almost a decade to this person. And they started having difficulties, and she was like, okay, maybe he's gonna come back, because he used to like break up and patch up and break up and patch up, and she thought that maybe it's gonna get fine again, and it's been so long that I'm with this person. But one fine day she realized that it's actually like a proper legit breakup this time. And the man just moved on, found someone else, and got married to that person in less than 6 months. I mean, 6 months of breakup and 6 months of, let's say, finding someone. So, less than a year actually. In less than a year, he got married and he started his own family. And I don't see anything wrong in that. I mean, I've seen it too, you know. Um, it's just that they have a lot of clarity in what they want, and maybe they're ready for a relationship with someone who they see as the right person for them. And with the one they've spent like so many years with, they never had that clarity. But you see how much they love themselves in reality. It's a selfish person, it's a selfish world, but they didn't want to dwell into the past. They didn't want to dwell into the negativity. They didn't want to dwell into the uh, thing that's not working out for them. So they were like, okay, I don't want to be into this. And that's why I'm saying catalyst twin flames and false twin flames can also be really, really helpful for you in your journey. If they've moved on, they found someone, they're raising children with that other person, why are you waiting for that person? Why are the healers and the coaches also waiting for that person? I don't get it. Yes, if you want to work on yourself and you want to become really super amazing, then that's a different thing. Okay, but still waiting for someone who does not have, who's not even yours anymore, and in 3D it's not going to be helpful for you. Like, it doesn't serve you any purpose in your life, in your family life, or in your journey ahead. You're not feeling good about it, then why do you have to stick around for somebody which is just like a like a like sand in your hand? It's better to be with someone or look for someone, or better to be alone if that makes you happy, you know. And then you'll realize that when you do proper actual inner work, which is to face your blocks, to face your fears, you give time to yourself, you will be in a better place to attract better people, at least get better attention. Some people I know, they don't even get the attention. They're not getting attention from people. But after therapy, after one-on-one sessions, they start meeting interesting people. And this is how it starts. First, you meet some interesting people, then you get rejected, or you reject some people, and you don't feel guilty about it, because that person, those people, they're not matching in with your whatever thought pattern or frequency, your energy type. And it's okay. It's okay. So you have to forgive even those people who didn't uh, accept you. Like they didn't either accept you, or the relationship just simply didn't work out. You have to forgive them. You have to say sorry to them mentally, and you have to accept their apology. You don't need to go and talk to them, and you don't need to be like, oh, I need an apology. You owe me an apology because you left me and you chose someone else. It's okay. It's destiny. What about destiny? Why do we people do not accept destiny? Even in a relationship which is ongoing, if your partner is hurting you, if you're going through some trouble, even that is our destiny. But what do we do with it? That's more important. I mean, are you working for yourself? Are you trying to heal yourself? Because I'll tell you, God will send you the right people, and they will help you. You will meet good mentors. You will meet good healers, or you will read the right books. You will find the right information, but you have to walk on that path yourself first. So yeah, for personal sessions, you can check out the description box. You can also get my book, In the Name of Love, A Journey of Finding Your Ultimate Soulmate. I'm not saying you have to be perfect in this journey and you have to do it right away. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself some appreciation for where you are right now. See you in the next one. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.